listen to them. The endless cries of those who divide us. The reflections of their souls pulsing in our veins. The maddening realization that change is inevitable.
The Magister waves his hands in circular form as the hulking Ogroid observes, his eyes bright with pride. The mortal wizard looks pleased as the dancing flames start to consume the house and the cries of panic increase. He will turn it into something worthy of his patron god. Their guild has long craved to turn this village into an example of enlightenment. They have become so prolific in their raids that Kairos has even materialized to witness their devotion. This night is one of trials and celebration. After a while, the flames start to dissipate under the weight of sudden watery fog. The twin heads of the oracle fiercely twitch as if sensing something coming near. The nearby stream increases its volume, slowly flooding the plantations and soaking the soil under their feet. The acolytes quickly spread out, trying not to lose their balance. As the fire dies, the only light that remains is centered around Kairos' staff. Pulsing quickly into view, the Idoneth raiders finally show themselves. They look fierce and unafraid, led by glowing lanterns that sit atop their leaders' helms. The Chaos Force is now surrounded. Kairos looks surprised by the ambush. He did not see this coming. A slim shadow speaks from behind the ranks of blind high elves.
The party! Atlantean formation! Let none of these fine greys escape!
The Oracle of Tzeentch cracks in laughter. With his hands burning bright, he steps aside to reveal the monstrous elemental.
I love surprises. Here's
The battle tactic is mass conjuration. The Ogroid activates heroic leadership. The Soul Render activates heroic willpower. The Ogroid activates Arcane Sacrifice and takes 2 damage. The Acolytes cast Gestalt Sorcery. The Acolytes cast Gestalt Sorcery. The Changecaster activates Arcane Tome and casts the Purple Sun. The Ogroid fails to cast Choking Tendrils. The Ogroid casts Arcane Suggestion on the Thralls. It's hopeless. Kairos casts Umbral Spellportal. The Magister casts Shield of Faith on the Tzaangors. The Magister activates Magic Touch to cast Arcane Bolt and uses 2 Destiny dice for a double, which means the spell is failed and he is slain. Kairos casts Infernal Gateway on the Thrallmaster and deals 4 damage. Kairos casts Mystic Shield. The Aetherwings activate Redeploy. The Acolytes deal 1 damage to the Aetherwings. The Changecaster uses 2 Destiny dice and deals 2 damage to the Aetherwings. The Reavers activate Unleash Hell and deal 6 damage to the Incarnate. The Incarnate fails to activate Devour Endless Spell on the Umbral Spellportal, losing 1 level. The Thrallmaster activates Achillean Fighting Stance, Way of the Vortex. The Incarnate deals 5 damage to the Thralls. The Aether Wings deal no damage to the Incarnate. The Thralls deal 18 damage to the Incarnate. 1 Aetherwing flees from battle shock. The Incarnate dies. Soul Render activates Lure Light, returning 4 Thralls. Tzeentch scores 3 victory points. The battle tactic is gaining momentum. The Thrallmaster activates Heroic Recovery, healing 2 wounds, and fails to activate Heroic Leadership. Kairos activates Finest Hour. The Thrallmaster fails to dispel the Purple Sun. The Tzaangors activate Redeploy. The Soulscryer, the Thralls, and the Leviathan Deep Strike. The Soul Render activates Rune of Surging Gloomtide. The Leviathan activates All-Out Attack. The Changecaster activates All-Out Defense. The Leviathan deals 1 damage to the Changecaster. The Reavers deal 3 damage to Kairos. The Reavers deal 3 damage to Kairos. Kairos activates Stomp, dealing 1 damage to the Thralls. Kairos activates All-Out Defense. The Thralls deal 4 damage to Kairos. The Acolytes deal no damage to the Thralls. The Thralls deal 5 damage to the Acolytes. Kairos deals 4 damage to the Thralls and finishes off the Aetherwing. The Acolytes deal no damage to the Thralls. 6 Thralls flee from battle shock. The Acolytes use 1 Destiny dice and 1 Acolyte flees. The Soul Render activates Lure Light, returning 5 Thralls. The Idoneth score 4 victory points. The battle tactic is Call for Change. The Ogroid activates Heroic Leadership. Lotan activates Heroic Willpower. The Acolytes cast Gestalt Sorcery. The Ogroid casts Choking Tendrils on the Thralls and deals 3 damage, healing back 3 wounds. The Ogroid casts Arcane Suggestion, but it is unbound. The Changecaster casts Pink Fire of Tzeentch on the Thralls. Kairos casts Bolt of Change and deals 1 damage to the Thralls. Kairos casts Infernal Gateway on the Thralls, dealing 5 damage. Kairos casts Unchecked Mutation on the Reavers, dealing 2 damage. Kairos generates a Destiny dice using the Oracle of Eternity ability. The Purple Sun slays Lothan. The Thralls activate Redeploy. Tzeentch summons a Lord of Change. The Acolytes deal 1 damage to the Soul Render. The Acolytes deal 1 damage to the Thralls. The Changecaster deals 1 damage to the Thralls. The Leviathan activates Unleash Hell, dealing 4 damage to the Tzaangors. The Lord of Change uses 2 Destiny dice to charge. Kairos activates Stomp, dealing 1 damage to the Soul Render. The Lord of Change activates Roar on the Thralls. The Tzaangors activate All-Out Attack. The Tzaangors deal 5 damage to the Thralls. The Lord of Change activates All-Out Defense. The Thralls deal 7 damage to the Tzaangors and 10 damage to the Lord of Change. Kairos deals 2 damage to the Soul Render. The Soul Render finishes off the Lord of Change. The Acolytes finish off the Soul Render. The Thralls activate Inspiring Presence. 1 Tzaangor flees from battle shock. The Soul Render activates Lure Light, returning 5 Thralls. Tzeentch scores 3 victory points. The battle tactic is an eye for an eye. The Thrallmaster fails to activate Heroic Recovery and Heroic Leadership. Kairos activates Heroic Recovery, healing 3 wounds. The Thrallmaster fails to cast Steed of Tides. The Soulscryer prays for a curse on the Tzaangors. The Soulscryer deals 3 damage to the Tzaangors. The Leviathan finishes off the Tzaangors. Kairos activates All-Out Defense. The Reavers deal 6 damage to Kairos. The Reavers deal no damage to Kairos that uses 3 Destiny dice. The Leviathan activates Stomp, finishing off the Acolytes. The thralls finish off the Ogroid and deal 4 damage to the Changecaster. The Idoneth score 6 victory points.